Hello and welcome. My name is Steve Bennett. I'm the current president of the Property Funds Association. Today I've got Scott Curley, Director of GSA Insurance, here with me, who will give us a bit more of an update on the insurance market and what's happening and what should be expected. Welcome, Scotty.
Thanks, Stephen. Good to be here.
So, Scott, I guess one of the first things that people may want to be informed about, and for those that aren't as familiar with what a good broker does, what sort of value can an insurance broker bring to a property funds manager?
It's a good question. It's the key differentiator between a quality broker and one that may not be so good. The key things is experience, expertise, knowledge of market, and which underwriters to use within the insurance companies. So touching on that, the broker should have a really good understanding of the industry and the sector that they're operating in and where their clients are, so whether it be industrial, commercial, or retail. We should have a good understanding of which insurers are looking to provide insurance in the current climate, and that tends to change at the moment on a fairly regular basis, with London starting to retract from the Australian market. The individual underwriters within each of those insurers is really critical too. So you want to be dealing with the senior underwriters who really understand the risk and the exposure. One of the other parts is really for the broker to know their client and have a good open relationship with the client to be able to tell them what they can expect going forward in terms of pricing. And it may not be a great message every time, especially in the current climate. It's never a really great message, but it's open and transparent and really honest, so the client can budget, can provide feedback to their board of what they can expect going forward.
Scotty, you just touched on something that I'm sure will be of interest to a lot of people watching, and it's in terms of what's happening in the premium market. I think you said just then that premiums are on the up. Can you give us a bit more information on what's happening in the market and what's driving those increases?
Sure. Premium-wise, we've done some benchmarking, and on the property ISR risks that are quality risks, we're seeing about a 15 to 20% increase across the board. Areas that are more drastic than that are obviously regional buildings that may not have as good a construction format, and also anything that has EPS or asbestos in it. Insurers seem to be really walking away from those or charging a premium for those exposures. What's driving it? It's really market losses. So Lloyd's of London are suffering substantial losses, both through Corona, but also as it globally, the bushfires, the floods, California, the hurricanes, everything that happens in the world seems to affect the Australian property market somehow. And so we're seeing through reinsurance costs, some of those costs being pushed down to our clients here in Australia.
Okay, so it sounds like could be a couple of interesting years coming up as some of these things wash through the system.
Yeah, I think we've probably seen what we hope we're getting towards the top of the hard market. We've had increases year on year now for about 2 or 3 years. So hopefully we can start to see them start to level off, and insurers get a level of comfort that they got their pricing right, and so we don't tend to see the increases that we're seeing now over the next 2 to 3 years.
Well, that sounds like good news if that turns out to be the case, Scotty, and very much hoping it is. Yeah. And look, I might just wrap up with one more question. You've talked about already what to look for in a good broker and the value they can add. You've talked about what's happening in the premiums and potentially the market pricing going forward. I guess my final question, and as a fund manager in the property space myself, maybe for the other people watching, what are some practical things that a fund manager can do to help them get the best result when they're tendering or going out to market for their insurance requirements?
Yeah, another great question. Really, it's about engaging with your broker and with the insurer. It really is, it's an overused term, but it is a tripartite relationship. And so the insurers really want to engage with the client, and they want to understand the client's risk management protocols, what they're doing to improve the physical risk of the asset, as well as just getting to the market early as well. So on the financial line side, the professional indemnity directors and officers, that part is really about getting to market early, giving the insurers a lot of information, and just as I said, having that transparent, open relationship with the insurer and the broker. I think the fund managers always tend to come out better when they're open book with the insurers.
So that's a good lesson for everyone. And to be honest, anyone that's in the property space, it sounds like you treat your broker and your underwriters and insurers like you would a valuable tenant in terms of keeping them up to date, informed, and looking after the assets like you'd be expected to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, look, thank you very much, Scott. We appreciate your time. My name's Steve Bennett, and thank you for all watching this short webinar on what's happening in the insurance market, brought to you by Scott and GSA.
Thanks, Stephen. Appreciate it.